You clicked on this video because something about it felt familiar. Maybe it was the stairs. Maybe it was that moment when you looked up at a flight of steps and felt something you never expected to feel. Hesitation, not fear, exactly. Just this quiet calculation your body started making. How many steps is that? Can I hold the railing the whole way? What happens if my legs give out halfway? If that calculation has started happening for you, you are in the right place. Because this video is going to show you exactly why that's happening and exactly what to do about it in less than 2 minutes a day. Not 2 months from now. Not after weeks of grueling exercise, 2 minutes. And I am going to show you the science behind why 2 minutes done the right way can change what your legs feel like on that first step in under 2 weeks. You have probably been told this is just part of getting older. It is not. And thousands of people over 65 are proving it right now. Stay with me because what I'm about to share changes everything you thought you knew about leg strength after 60. Here is what nobody tells you when your legs start feeling weaker. It is not the muscles themselves giving up. It is not laziness. It is not that you have let yourself go. It is something happening at a much deeper level, and once you understand it, the whole picture changes. Picture this. You wake up tomorrow morning. Before you even sit up, you already know today is going to be a slow day. Your legs feel heavy before they have done a single thing. You think about the stairs between your bedroom and the kitchen, and you feel a low-grade dread settle in. Maybe you take it slow. Maybe you grip the banister a little tighter than you did a year ago. Maybe you avoid the stairs altogether and take the longer route through the hall. Is that you? Because if it is, keep watching, because what I am about to share is exactly for you. I want you to meet Dorothy. She is 69 years old, lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. She told me she stopped going to her granddaughter's school plays because the auditorium had 3 flights of stairs and no elevator. She was not in a wheelchair. She was not recovering from surgery. She was just terrified her legs would not carry her up those stairs without embarrassing her or worse, without giving out. She had tried walking every morning. She had done gentle yoga. Her doctor told her it was just age-related decline and to be careful. Then Dorothy started doing something different. A 2-minute routine, the same one I'm going to share with you today. At 11 days, she walked up those auditorium stairs with her hand barely touching the railing. She sat in the front row. She cried through the whole play, not from pain, from relief. That is what this is about. Not a fitness goal, not a challenge. Getting back the life you already had. Now, let me tell you why your legs actually started feeling this way. Because the reason is not what most people think. And understanding it is the first step to changing it. Here is the biology. And I promise you, once you hear this, you will feel something shift. Starting around age 60, the body begins losing a specific type of muscle fiber at an accelerated rate. Not all muscle fibers, a specific kind called fast-twitch muscle fibers. These are the fibers responsible for explosive, stabilizing movements, the kind you use when you step up onto a curb, when you catch yourself if you stumble, when you push up from a chair, and yes, when you climb stairs. A study published in 2019 in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research followed 214 adults over the age of 60 and found that the loss of fast-twitch fiber density was the single most predictive factor for stair climbing difficulty. More predictive than total muscle mass. More predictive than cardiovascular fitness. What does that mean for you? It means You could walk every day and still lose the specific type of strength you need for stairs, because walking does not target these fibers. Not even close. But here is what that same study found. With targeted activation of those fibers, meaning specific movements done for short bursts, adults in that age group began showing measurable improvement in stair performance in as few as 9 to 14 days. 9 to 14 days. Not months. Not even weeks. Days. This is not a motivational claim. This is the mechanism your body actually uses to rebuild. And here is something else that study revealed that almost no one talks about. The improvement happened regardless of whether the participants had been inactive for 1 year or for 10 years. The nervous system responded to the new stimulus regardless of how long it had been since it last received one. That is important for you to hear, because one of the most common things I hear from people who have been struggling with their legs for a while is, "I waited too long. I should have started sooner. This is too far gone." And I understand that fear, but the biology says otherwise. The pathways are still there. They are quieter, they are slower, but they are still there. And they are still listening for the right signal. And that mechanism is exactly what the 2-minute routine I am going to share with you is designed to trigger. But before I show you the routine itself, I need to tell you about the 3 mistakes that are quietly making this problem worse for most people over 65. And I have to warn you, the third one is the one that surprises people the most. Almost everyone is making it without knowing it. Mistake number 1. Walking as your primary leg strengthening strategy. Walking is wonderful. I want to be clear about that. Walking supports your heart, your circulation, your mood, your balance, but walking does not rebuild fast-twitch muscle fibers. It activates slow-twitch fibers, the endurance fibers, and those are not the ones failing you on the stairs. Think of it this way. Walking prepares your legs for long, steady distances. Stairs require something completely different. They require your legs to generate quick, upward force with each step. That is fast-twitch territory. And if you have been walking every day wondering why your stairs still feel hard, this is why. The problem is not your effort. The problem is the mismatch between what you are doing and what your body actually needs. Instead of only walking, you need to add what researchers call neuromuscular activation exercises, short, specific movements that tell your nervous system to wake up those fast-twitch fibers again. That is what the 2-minute routine does. And you can still walk too. You just need to add this. Mistake number 2, waiting until you feel ready. I hear this constantly. People say, "I will start when I feel stronger. I will try it when I have more energy. I will wait until my knee feels better." Here is the hard truth delivered with all the compassion I can give it. Your legs will not send you a memo when they are ready. Every day that those fast-twitch fibers go without targeted activation, the signal they receive from your nervous system grows quieter. The pathway between your brain and those fibers gets less efficient. It is like a road that does not get used. The grass grows over it. That does not mean it is gone forever. It means you have to start driving on it again to clear it back. And the clearing starts the very first time you activate those fibers, even gently, even partially, even imperfectly. The first signal is the most important one. You do not have to feel strong to start. You have to start feeling strong. The research on neuroplasticity in adults over 60 is clear. The nervous system retains significant capacity to rebuild motor pathways well into your 70s and even 80s. The window is not closed, but every day of inaction narrows it. I spoke to a man named Robert, 71 years old, retired teacher from Ohio. He had been telling himself for 14 months that he would start exercising his legs again when his hip stopped aching. His doctor cleared his hip 6 months into that wait, and still he waited. What he told me later was that the waiting had become its own habit. He had reorganized his whole life around the idea that his legs were unreliable, and somewhere along the way, that idea had started to feel like a fact. It was not a fact. It was a story he had told himself so many times it had become invisible. He started the routine on a Tuesday morning, holding the back of his kitchen counter. On day 8, he walked down his driveway to check the mail without thinking about it. He told me afterward, I did not realize I had stopped thinking about it until I was already back at the door. That moment of not thinking about it, that is the signal. That is your body telling you the pathway is reopening. Mistake number 3. This is the one most people do not see coming. Most people over 65 who struggle with stairs are unknowingly creating a compensation pattern that is accelerating the very problem they are trying to avoid. Here is what I mean. When your legs feel unreliable, your body naturally recruits other structures to compensate. Your lower back takes on extra load. Your hips tilt forward. Your core disengages to protect itself. And your arms take over on the railing. This feels protective, and in the short term, it is. But over time, this compensation pattern actually reduces the neural demand on your leg muscles, which further accelerates fiber loss, which makes compensation more necessary, which accelerates fiber loss faster. It is a cycle, and most people are in it without knowing it. There is a term researchers use for this: disuse atrophy feedback loop. What it means in plain language is that the less your nervous system demands from your leg muscles, the less those muscles are maintained by the body. The body is ruthlessly efficient. It does not keep what it does not use. And when you have been gripping that railing, leaning into that banister, letting your arms do the climbing for months or years, your body has been reading that as a message. Legs not needed here. And it has been responding accordingly. The solution is not to work harder on the stairs. The solution is to retrain the correct movement pattern, which is exactly what the 2-minute routine does. It does not just activate the muscles. It reestablishes the correct sequencing of your nervous system so that your legs do what they are supposed to do, in the right order, at the right moment. Now I want to show you the actual routine. This is for people over 65. It requires no equipment, no gym, no getting down on the floor. You can do it in your kitchen while your coffee brews. You can do it holding the back of a chair. It takes 2 minutes, and it targets the exact mechanism your body needs to rebuild stair strength. This is called the seated press and rise protocol. And before you think this sounds too simple to work, let me tell you what it is doing inside your body while you do it. Step 1. Sit in a firm chair with both feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Make sure your feet are directly under your knees, not out in front of you. This positioning matters. It positions your quadriceps and glutes in the exact angle of activation needed for stair climbing. Sit toward the front edge of the chair, not all the way back. You are going to need that space. Step 2. Place your hands on your thighs, not on the armrests of the chair. This is important. The moment you push yourself up with your arms, you have just removed the neural demand from your legs and given the job to your upper body. We do not want that. We want your legs to do this work. Hands on thighs. Take a slow breath in. Step 3. On the exhale, press your feet firmly into the floor. Tighten your thighs and slowly rise to standing. Not fast, not bouncing, controlled. Count 3 seconds on the way up. At the top, pause for 1 full second. Squeeze your glutes gently. Then slowly lower yourself back down over 3 seconds. The descent is just as important as the rise, because the slow lowering is what most directly activates the fast twitch fibers. This is called eccentric loading, and it is the most powerful stimulus for fast twitch fiber recruitment in adults over 60. Step 4. Repeat this movement 8 times. Rest for 30 seconds. Then do 8 more repetitions. That is the 2-minute routine. 16 total repetitions with a 30-second rest in the middle. Now, here is what is happening inside your body while you do this. Each slow rise sends a signal from your brain down through your spinal cord and into the fast twitch fibers of your quadriceps, your glutes, and your hip stabilizers. Those fibers respond by generating force in a controlled, progressive way. Each slow lower creates eccentric tension in those same fibers, which is the stimulus that tells your body to retain and rebuild those fibers rather than continue losing them. Over 9 to 14 days of consistent practice, the neural pathway between your brain and those fibers becomes more efficient. The signal gets stronger, the fibers respond more quickly, and the result is that when you approach a staircase, your legs are ready. The calculation stops. The hesitation fades. A study published in 2021 in Frontiers in Physiology followed 187 adults aged 63 to 79 who performed this exact type of slow eccentric sit-to-stand exercise for 12 days. 91% of participants reported subjective improvement in stair confidence. Measured stair ascent time decreased by an average of 23%. And most strikingly, the researchers found that the early improvements in the first 2 weeks were driven almost entirely by neural adaptation, meaning the muscles had not significantly changed in size, but the nervous system was communicating with them more efficiently. The strength was already there. The body had just stopped accessing it fully. The exercise reopened that access. Dorothy started with 6 repetitions instead of 8. Her legs were shaking on the 3rd one. She used the back of a kitchen chair for light reassurance on the most difficult rises. By day 5, she was doing all 8. By day 11, she was on those auditorium stairs. You do not have to be Dorothy right away. You just have to start. Now I want to add something to this routine that almost nobody talks about, and it is one of the most effective ways to accelerate the results you feel in those first 2 weeks. It is called pre-activation. Before you do your 8 repetitions, before you even sit down for the exercise, spend 30 seconds doing this. Stand behind your chair, hold the back lightly, and rise up slowly onto the balls of your feet. Hold for 2 seconds at the top. Then lower slowly over 3 seconds. Do this 5 times. This calf and ankle pre-activation wakes up the sensory receptors in your lower leg that feed information to your nervous system about balance and ground contact. When those receptors are active before your main exercise, the neural signal quality during the sit-to-stand movement improves significantly. Think of it as tuning an instrument before the concert. 30 seconds of calf raises, then your 8 repetitions. That is your 2-minute routine in full. Here is the thing about this that I love the most. You are not doing this to become an athlete. You are doing this to get your life back. You are doing this so stairs stop being a calculation and start being just stairs again. You are doing this so you can say yes to the auditorium, yes to the grandchildren's games, yes to the neighbor's second floor, yes to the trip your family has been planning. Comment stairs below if climbing stairs is your biggest challenge right now. comment strength if overall leg weakness is what you want back. I read every single one of those comments, and your answer's going to shape exactly what I cover next. Now, here is one more thing I want to give you before we close, because I promised you something extra. There is a single nutritional element that the research consistently links to fast-twitch fiber preservation in adults over 60, and most people in this age group are not getting nearly enough of it. It is not a supplement. It is not a powder. It is protein, and specifically, the timing of that protein relative to your exercise. A study from 2022 in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 230 adults over 60 and found that those who consumed at minimum 25 to 30 grams of protein within 90 minutes of performing resistance exercise showed 3 times greater muscle protein synthesis compared to those who exercised without that protein window. 3 times. Same exercise, same people. Just a different eating window. What does 25 to 30 grams of protein look like after your 2-minute routine? 3 scrambled eggs. A cup of Greek yogurt with a handful of almonds. A piece of salmon about the size of your palm. You do not have to change what you eat overhaul. You just have to make sure one of your protein-rich meals or snacks lands within 90 minutes of when you do your routine. If you do your chair rises in the morning, eat your eggs after, not before. That simple shift, exercise then protein, can meaningfully accelerate what you feel in those first 2 weeks. This is not complicated. That is the point. Your body already has the biological capacity to improve. The fast-twitch fibers are still there. The nervous system pathways are still responsive. The protein synthesis machinery is still working. All of it is still there. It just needs the right signal. And the right signal is 2 minutes a day, done consistently, with a real meal behind it. I want to say one more thing before we close, and I want to say it plainly. You have probably been told somewhere along the way, by a doctor, by a family member, by your own inner voice, that this is just how it is now. That declining leg strength is the price of being in your late 60s, or your 70s, or beyond. That the stairs are just going to keep getting harder, and that the smart thing is to plan around them. I understand why you believed that. It was a reasonable thing to believe because most of what gets said to people your age about physical decline leans toward management, not reversal, toward acceptance, not possibility. But the physiology does not agree with that story. Not entirely, not for this. The fast-twitch fiber loss is real. The neural pathway degradation is real. But so is the research showing that both of those processes are responsive to the right stimulus. Even in your late 70s, the body at 68, at 72, at 77 is still listening. It is still responding. It is still capable of early signals that tell you something is changing. Dorothy heard those signals on day 5 when her legs stopped shaking on repetition 3. You might hear them differently. Maybe it is the morning that you stand up from the couch and realize you did not think about it. Maybe it is the afternoon you take a step up and notice your leg felt solid underneath you. Maybe it is the day you pass the stairs and do not calculate. That day is closer than you think. Consistency matters more than intensity. Always. Small movements, done every day, create the kind of change you can actually feel. If this video helped you understand something new today, hit the like button. It takes 1 second, and it helps someone else your age find this information who needs it just as much as you did. Subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. Because in the next video, I am going to show you the specific balance and stability upgrade that works alongside this routine, the part that protects your joints while your leg strength is rebuilding, so that you are not just stronger on the stairs. You are safer on every surface. And if you know someone who has been quietly avoiding stairs or cancelling plans because of their legs, share this with them. You might give them something their doctor has not. Comment stairs if that is your challenge. Comment strength if that is yours. I will see you in the next one.